Hello friends, welcome to another video. If you guys are new here, my name is Rachelle. I'm so glad you're joining us. In this reading vlog, I want to see how much I actually read in a week. For those of you who don't know, I actually have two jobs. I work in the film and TV industry and I work in the sound department. Oftentimes I work long hours on set. And then my other job is of course creating content for YouTube. This week I don't have any film work scheduled, but I do have a lot of YouTube work to get done. I just got back from my trip to Iceland and I vlogged that entire vacation, and usually my vacation vlogs take a really long time to edit, longer than any normal vlog, so I plan to be working on that video all week. I also took some really nice photos while I was there, so I want to be editing those photos as well, and I also want to incorporate those photos into my vlog as well as post them on my Instagram. Yeah, so I do have a lot of content creation work that I need to do, and I definitely think it's going to take up a lot of my time this week, so I think it'll be interesting to see how much I actually read in a week when I'm busy. Today is Monday. I don't know if I want to do a 5-day week yet or a 7-day week. We'll see how I feel, but for sure I'm going to be filming this vlog from Monday to Friday this week. My current read right now is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I might be butchering his last name right now, but I'm not sure. I have been in a really big mystery thriller mood lately because it's October and it's spooky season, so it's literally the perfect time to read mystery thrillers. This story centers around this professor named Edward, and he is handsome and charismatic and he is adored by so many staff and students, but there's this one group of female students that weirdly act like his own personal fan club, and they call themselves the Maidens. Another one of our main characters is Mariana, and she's a group therapist, and she becomes fixated with the Maidens when one of the members is found murdered. Despite his alibi, Mariana thinks Edward is guilty of the murder, so she goes on this journey to get to the bottom of it. I'm about 215 pages into this book so far, so I'm a little more than halfway through it, and I'm actually enjoying this story a lot. I don't have any guesses on what's gonna happen or how the book is gonna end yet, and in my opinion that's what makes it a good mystery thriller, because I want the ending to blow my mind away. I want to be shocked, so not having any guesses is definitely a good sign. Also, Professor Edward is definitely giving me the creeps. The way he acts is so unnatural. He's just so composed that it seems like a facade, and it just makes me uncomfortable. The impression I get from his character, it makes me want to believe that he's guilty, but I don't know for sure yet. Also, I don't know what it is about the Maidens. They're basically Edward's cult, and I feel like this is something I usually wouldn't like to read about, but for some reason I am really liking how it's playing out in the story so far. It's shady and unethical, but it makes this mystery thriller more twisted and just more of an intriguing read. I'm going to continue reading this book right now. I'm hoping I can finish this book today. I'm not sure if I can, but we'll see how things go. But first, I am starting off my day with one of Magic Mind's productivity shots because I need to be productive today. These are matcha productivity shots, and one of my favorite recipes is to make this into a matcha latte, but recently I've been enjoying taking these just as a shot. In my opinion, it tastes good both ways. I started taking these shots because I learned from Magic Mind that caffeine doesn't actually give you energy. Caffeine actually blocks the neuroreceptors that tell you you're tired, and when they unblock around like 3 hours later, that's when you start to feel a crash, and of course that's why you feel sluggish. Theanine is actually an ingredient in these matcha shots, and it prevents the full blocking of receptors, so it reduces the caffeine crash and jitters you will feel. I believe today will be my 7th day taking these shots, and whenever I take these shots I definitely feel more energized, and I'm also usually really productive on those days. So if you guys are looking for something to boost your cognition and energy and decrease procrastination, I recommend you guys to try these productivity shots from Magic Mind. I will have their link to their website in my description box below, and if you use my code RACHELLEOUT20 you can get 20% off your first purchase. Alright, let's get started with the day. Let's take one of these and get on with the reading.
I don't think like that, she says to me. I can't help but feel the subtleties. So if it all expires, I guess the date's not what it seems. But I can't help it, boy, she says to me.
Good morning. Yesterday I finished The Maidens and I read a total of 118 pages. I don't read a lot of dark academia books, but I just love the setting and the atmosphere. It was also quite spooky and it was literally the perfect read for October. The ending completely shocked me. The pacing of the book was also quite literally perfect. It flowed really nicely and every chapter was short, and I love when mystery thrillers have short chapters because it just keeps the suspense up. This is actually not the first book I read by Alex Michaelides. manga leads. I actually own his other 2 books and I've read them as well. And one thing I've noticed about all his books is that they're all in one big universe. In this book, we get cameos of characters from The Silent Patient, his first novel, and then in his latest novel, The Fury, we get cameos of characters from this book. I absolutely love when there's character crossovers because there's something just so satisfying about reading about characters I already met and already know about. In this book, there's this one part that I just felt was irrelevant to the story. I'm not going to go into detail about this because I don't want to give you guys spoilers, but basically there's this character named Henry, and I personally don't think his storyline contributed that much to the overall story. I feel like if we removed his storyline, we would still come to the same conclusions. Also, there were a couple of truths revealed to us throughout this book, and a lot of those truths kind of just sickened me. I mean, it definitely made this mystery thriller more twisted, and it's a good thing for the book, but just as a human being, personally these truths felt so unethical and disturbing that it just made me a little bit uncomfortable. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. I would actually consider Alex one of my favorite mystery thriller authors. I will definitely be reading more of his work in the future. For my next book, I definitely feel like I need a palate cleanser, so I'm going to read a romance, and I am deciding to read Real by Kennedy Ryan. I've never read a book by this author yet. This would be my first. This is actually an arc that I was sent by Hachette. This book comes out November 12th, 2024. I am so excited to have this book in my hands. Thank you Hachette and Forever for sending me this. The setting of this book is in the film and TV industry, so it's right up my alley because I work in the same industry and I just love reading about books that takes place in an industry I know so well. I am really excited to start reading this book right now, so let's just get into it. The prologue of this book already has me. I've only read like 8 pages, but some big stuff already happened. Hello friends, it's the next day, it's Wednesday. Yesterday on Tuesday, I read 136 pages. I read a little bit of Quicksilver by Callie Hart, and this book is a romantasy and it follows Saris. I think that's how you say her name, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, she's human, but she has these strange magical powers that she keeps a secret. One day she comes face to face with Death himself, and she reopens his gateway between realms, and then she is transported to the land of the Fae. But all she wants is to return home, and in order for her to do that, she needs to do everything the Fae King wants from her. I'm over 200 pages into this book already, but that's really the only description I can give you guys. Partially because I feel like the pacing of this book is so slow, and a lot of the stuff that's written doesn't seem necessary. Or maybe it's the fact that I'm not at a point in a story where I'm finding the information I'm reading useful. Either way, I just don't have a good grasp on the story yet. The book is just not holding my attention, and I really hope it gets better. Also, the chapters in this book feel so long. I'm reading this on my Kindle, so the page count might be a little bit different than a physical copy of the book, but it literally feels like it takes me forever to finish a chapter of this book, and I really don't think I'm reading that slow. Yeah, so I don't know what it is. I'm really hoping this is the type of fantasy that takes a long time to build the world in the beginning, but once you cross a certain point in the book, it becomes a page turner. If I'm gonna be quite honest, this book had a really high rating and I was expecting really great things from it, and right now I don't love it as much as I hoped I would. Let's now talk about Real though, because I'm enjoying this book so much that it's distracting me from the work I actually need to do. This is a dual POV romance, and our main characters are Neva and Cannon. Neva is an understudy on Broadway and her name isn't known yet, but she gets a chance at stardom when Cannon, a Hollywood director, attends one of her Broadway performances and decides to cast her as his lead in his newest biopic film. So far, I am loving this book so much. There's nothing I don't like about it yet. I love our 2 main characters. They are such likable people, and when I'm reading each of their POVs, their voices are so captivating. I really haven't gotten deep into the romance part yet. I get the impression that this is a slow burn romance, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not always a fan of slow burn romances, but with this one, I don't think I mind because I really like where the story is going, and I really want to see the connection between Neva and Cannon develop over time. Also, in this book, we sometimes get excerpts of the screenplay, and I just think that's a really nice touch to the story. Those are all my updates on the books I'm reading so far. I did get book mail yesterday, but I haven't opened it yet, so let's open it together. This package is from Hachette. It's the same publisher that actually sent me this book. They sent me Tale of the Heart Queen, and this is the 4th book in the Trial of the Sun Queen series. Wow, this book is thick. I didn't think it would be this big. Anyway, I read the first book not that long ago, and I enjoyed it. I haven't read the 2nd or 3rd book yet, but I own it, so I'm hoping to read those books soon, and then I can get to this book. Thank you, Rachelle, for sending me this book, though. I'm so excited to read it.
Walk into the club, step right out, say no. Tonight I'm gonna spend by myself, my solo. Remind myself to love myself. Nobody else gonna hold me down. Gave it all away, been on high speed, go. Tonight I'm needing me and a pre-roll to go. Cause I just need to feel the love. Yeah, when I wanna feel the love, I give it to myself. I can't get it from nobody else. I'm getting it this time. Drive back home, I know where I'm.
Hi friends, welcome to Thursday. Yesterday I read 126 pages. It seems like every day this week so far I'm reading roughly around the same amount of pages. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought I read more pages than this. I guess I am just really a slow reader, but you know, that's okay. Anyways though, I do have some updates on Real. I am now a little more than halfway through the book, and I can't get enough of this book. I actually have quite a bit of editing work to do, but I'm finding it so hard to put this book down to actually do my work. I definitely feel like I'm gonna give this book a high rating. I don't want to speak too soon though, because I know things can change. Oh, there's actually one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about because it's something I really liked in this book. In this romance, Kanan is concerned about what the optics would look like if it gets out that there's a budding romance between himself as a director and his lead actress. And yes, the concerns are mainly with the public eye and what the news outlets will say when they get that piece of information in their hands. But there's also the concern about what other cast and crew will say about it. And I love that this feeling is incorporated into the story because it just feels so real. Working in this industry so far, I haven't been in this situation where I'm in a relationship with a high profile person, so I can't really relate to being worried about what the media will say, but I do understand the feeling of being scared of the conclusions other cast and crew will form, because this industry is actually really small, and a lot of the times everybody knows everybody and people talk. News always travels so fast on set, so people are definitely gonna gossip about it and make assumptions without actually knowing the facts. And it's really awful to be in the middle of it. Hi guys, it's so much later now. I'm about to go to bed, but I did want to do a little reading before I go to sleep. I think I'm going to read a chapter of Quicksilver because I haven't really touched this book in a while. And of course, I do want to make a little bit more progress into it. I actually did end up reading quite a bit more of Real throughout the day today. It feels like I read so much of this book today, but it turns out I only read 73 pages today. Now that I'm thinking about it, it does make sense because I did get quite a bit more editing done today than I did the past couple of days. In this book though, I'm currently 306 pages, and I think this book has around 460 pages. I definitely think I can finish this book by the end of the week. But like I said earlier, I'm gonna take a break from this book for the rest of the day and I'll pick it back up tomorrow. And right now, let's read Quicksilver. It's 5 p.m. right now and I've barely done any reading, so let's do some now. So on Thursday, I really didn't read that much. I only read 82 pages. And for today so far, I really haven't read that much either. I took a couple breaks while editing to read a few chapters, but I really didn't get that far today. And I don't like that, so I'm gonna take the next little bit to read more of this book. Hello friends, welcome to Saturday. Yesterday, I read 81 pages. Friday was actually the day I read the least so far this week. But you know what? That's okay because life gets busy. For today though, let's try to read a little more than we did yesterday. I have about like 60 pages left of this book, so let's try to finish it right now.
While it's on the table, I'm not real. I lead the life you want from me, and I show it too. Not different from anyone, not better, but I wish I was. Just give me the lines you need to read, and I'll say them.
Hi friends, welcome to Sunday. Yesterday I finished Real and I also read a chapter of Quicksilver. So in total for Saturday I read 91 pages. But because I finished Real, I want to share with you guys all my thoughts on it. Guys, I think I found myself a new favorite romance because this book was so good. I enjoyed every second of it. I first loved the fact that it was set in the film industry. There were so many moments where they would mention film related things, for example, French hours. And because I work in this industry, it was a term I already knew. So I like that it was set in a world that I was already so familiar with, and it just made it so much easier to connect to the story on a personal level. For those of you who don't know what French hours is, it's basically a 10-hour workday, and instead of having a 1-hour lunch break, you will have something called a rolling lunch. So basically you eat while you work. But even though the setting was something I was already so familiar with, I liked that I was still able to learn something. I learned about the chronic condition lupus because in this story Neva has lupus, and we get to read about her journey battling this health condition and how it impacted her life. Also, both Neva and Canon are such likable characters. I love how kind and strong of a woman Neva is. It's so inspiring to read about women who don't let the film and TV industry tear them apart and make them incredibly jaded, because let's face it, you might think that working in this industry is glamorous as an outsider, but when you actually work in this industry, you'll soon find out that it's not. Also, Canon is just such a good man. There were so many times where I found myself falling for him. He honestly just became another one of my book boyfriends. Neva and Canon's love story had me from the beginning. I also loved how this book made you feel all the emotions. It makes you happy, sad, mad, and it also makes you laugh as well. You literally just feel everything. There's also something so captivating about Kennedy Ryan's writing. It just flows so nicely that it pulls you into the story. I truly did not expect myself to love this book as much as I did. I definitely see myself reading more of her books. This story is filled with so many real life issues and topics such as love, family, health, work, and being a person of color. I gave this book 5 stars, and I'm a hard critic, so I rarely give out 5 stars, but this book deserved it. For Quicksilver, I'm 38% of the way there. I'm at a point where I'm not sure if I should push through it and just continue reading this book, or I should soft DNF it and pick it up another time when I feel ready to read it. This book is just so incredibly slow, and everything is just so dragged out that I'm actually constantly finding it really difficult to follow the story. This book is a long book. I think it's almost 700 pages, and I heard a lot of the answers you're looking for is revealed at the very end, and I don't like it when fantasies do that. So I'm really struggling with the decision on whether or not I should DNF this book or not. But in the meantime, I did start reading The Night Circus. I'm only 25 pages into this book, so I really don't have any thoughts on it so far. This book is definitely not going to get finished in this reading vlog, so I might just save my full thoughts of this book for a future video of mine. I heard great things about this book though, so I'm excited to continue reading more of it. Okay guys, it is so much later in the day. It is currently 9:30 p.m. and I don't think I'm gonna be doing any more reading for the rest of the day. So for Sunday, I only read 54 pages. Today is definitely the day I read the least. In total, this whole week, I read 688 pages. And that number makes me feel like a slow reader, but it also makes sense. But that is all I have for you guys in this reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're comfortable, let me know in the comments down below how much you guys read in a week. I'd love to hear what you guys are up to with your reading journeys. Don't forget to check out Magic Mind's productivity shots because they are amazing. I definitely think they give you that boost in energy to help you be more productive, and I also definitely think it helps with immunity. So if you want to give it a try, I will have their link in my description box below. Also, if you guys haven't done so already, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post a lot of book content, so if you're interested in that, definitely stick around, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Pull the key out the ignition. Run your mouth but I never listen. You hold me back, will never last. Keep talking all your shit. Wondering how all this started. You left me broken hearted. You flip my words, yeah, this love hurts. Keep talking all your shit.